भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा, द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा, उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तब शुभ नावे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाए तब जय गाता, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे।
बोलो भारत माता की जय, बोलो भारत माता की जय, बोलो भारत माता की
जय,
बोलो महात्मा गांधी की
जय,
सुभाष चंद्र बोस की
जय,
बोलो अम्बेडकर की जय, बोलो भगत सिंह की जय।
आदरणीय गुरुजी प्रोफेसर सुब्रमण्यम जी and all the dignitaries and students. Today we are assembled here to celebrate 72nd Republic Day celebrations. You know, participating in a Republic Day function is a pride and something honoring our own self to exhibit the glory of our country and the achievements what we have done so far, and particularly during this year. For this great occasion, I welcome our Guruji to preside over and address us, and also Professor Subramaniam ji and today's chief guest Dr. Lakshmi Tatachar is on the way. He will join us very shortly. And for this function I also welcome Raghuram ji and our principal Sangamitra Patnaik, our registrar, and all of you. You know, normally during this Republic Day parade, our artillery achievements are exhibited, and in different podium and forums, the cultural achievements and the cultural history of this country is also exhibited. This year, the greatest achievement of our government is meticulous management and control of pandemic, COVID-19. You know, there are two types of powers. One is soft power, another one is the hard power. Preparing the country to protect from the foreign invasion, the military preparation is one aspect. The greatest thing that India has been doing with our neighboring country is developing the soft power. You know, Modi ji, when the pandemic started, immediately he rather interacted with all neighboring countries and he extended his friendly hands to everyone. And now the vaccination is in the process, and in the same time the vaccination program is being organized in all our neighboring countries by the helping hand of our country. So this is the strategy and this is the culture of our nation. We talk about Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha. That is really being implemented, and that is the greatest achievement. And it is unfortunate that some group of people or some political parties always opposing are misleading the farmers today. You know, the acts that have been in enforcement today should have been passed by both the houses of parliament, is to protect the freedom of the farmers. Earlier, top political people were looting in the name of APMC and the commissions, and people are being misled. It is for your information, a strong political leader in Punjab, he gets annually more than 10,000 crores as commission from the poor farmers. The same is the situation in Maharashtra. And these farmers have been misled and misconceived. And today they are trying to make the protest. And this opposition has always something, an yellow eye on everything. When our military, our defense force did a surgical strike, they doubted the integrity of our defense forces. And last year, they wanted to destabilize the country when the CAA was introduced. This year, the farmers. And this government is so well they are doing, and nothing will happen. Dogs are our friends. When our government is doing so much for the farmers and every people, and it is shame in the part of the groups and the opposition people doubting the integrity of our scientists. Some political person, he went to the extent of naming the COVID vaccine as BJP vaccine. What nonsense is this? It is shameful. They are questioning the integrity of scientists. They are questioning the integrity of our doctors. They are questioning the integrity of our defense people. This is not at all acceptable. Therefore, friends, we should follow the message given by Swami Vivekananda. Arise, awake, do not stop till you reach the goal. We being the followers of yoga, we have a lot of responsibilities to make people understand the reality. Maybe with reference to surgical strike or CAA or today the vaccination that is being going on and the farmers strike, all these things. First we should understand the reality and we should share the views with our friends, relatives, known people, unknown people through social media. Then only we can rather arise, awake and do not stop till we reach the goal. Anyway, India is in the progress, and India is the only country with so many youths for that matter. You are the wisdom, you are the wealth of our country, and you are the future of our country. And none of the other countries in the world have such a young, dynamic youth. And we are fortunate, and on this great occasion, I congratulate all of you, and I rather request every one of you to pledge and dedicate for the upliftment of this nation. Thank you. Bharat Mata Ki.
Esteemed friends, we have had two great days in this country. Number one is the 15th of August 1947, when we became independent. Next is the 26th of January 1950, What is the difference between these 2 days? On the 15th of August, we were born independent. The independent child requires to be educated, requires to be disciplined, requires to be reorganized, requires to be given a renaissance. The total country has been reorganized, and we have started implementing our great constitution on the 26th of January. Our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ramakrishna, has beautifully analyzed the achievements and the present problems. Normally, countries become rich by selling, by supplying missiles, arms, guns, etc. True to the spirit of India, we are now supplying vaccine to the countries, not missiles. We are the people to give health to the world. We are the beacon light of spirituality. We are the people to give health to the entire world at physical and psychological levels with spirituality at the top. The entire credit goes to our Prime Minister, who has taken the decision to provide vaccine to the entire globe, all the dependent countries. Now, on the 26th, we have to reorganize. Our Vice Chancellor has gone to the country level. I come to the local level. We in our campus require to be reorganized. 26th is not a simple day. It is a day of discipline. It is a day of renaissance. It is a day of reformation. It is a day of reorganization. Just as the school child is sent with discipline, first 3 years free, the child moves as it likes. But the moment the child is sent to the school, the food is regulated, studies are regulated, day's routine is regulated, and discipline is instilled. Similarly, every year on the Republic Day, we review the achievements and we reorganize our resources. We try to reassemble people who are disunited, and it is for the glory of the country. Brick after brick, brick after brick, the mason while building sees whether it is perpendicular or not. Similarly, on every 26th, we see to it whether we are progressing in the proper way. This university requires to review the functioning so far, whatever may be our achievements, and whether the achievements have been on the solid foundation. These achievements have to be taken in the proper direction, and therefore today, we take a resolve from this Republic Day onwards. As the child is being disciplined, this university also requires to be channelized in research, in the functioning. And let us take a resolve. Discipline does not simply exist. Sister Nivedita, when she started the school education for the girl children in Kolkata, on the first annual day, when she submitted the report, for her first sentence was, discipline does not simply exist. It does not fall from the heavens above. We have to strive for it. We have to put in all our efforts. We have to be united. And therefore, this year we are starting afresh. We are reorganizing everything. Who are the people to contribute to the national edifice of discipline, local mansion of discipline? Both the staff and students and all those who help from behind. Therefore, discipline is threefold. Discipline of a place. Have a place for everything. Have everything in its place. Every man should be allotted a particular place, and in his area of action, he has to accomplish the duties. Discipline of a place. Have a place for everything, have everything in its place, whether it is house or country or mind. Have a time for everything and have everything in its time. Go to Japan. How it functions. Nagasaki and Hiroshima were devastated. There was nothing. Within a few years, they became once again the superpower. What is the reason? What is the secret behind it? No train goes even a minute late. Why minute? Seconds late. If one particular point is taken into consideration, if only we are a little more punctual, our country will still rise higher and higher and higher at the national level. Our university will become a unique university, really a world-class university, if we observe the second point of discipline. Have a time for everything. Let all our classes commence on time. Let all our functions commence on time. Let us all do our duties on time. Have a time for everything and have everything in its time done. And third, Sri Krishna Paramatma in Bhagavad Gita says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. It does not mean that you should not think of the fruits. It does not mean fruits will not come. If only we follow the procedure karma, the proper way if we do it, if the procedural perfection is followed, fruits come on automatically. If the electrician does the work properly, if you switch on, lights will be burning, lights will be coming with bright light. We have to follow the procedure. My dear friends, 26th January is a Republic Day for reorganizing ourselves. Reorganized discipline. Have a place for everything and have everything in its place. At home, in the institution and in the nation. Similarly, have a time for everything. Here, outside, have a procedure strictly followed. To write a thesis, there is a procedure. To organize a function, there is a procedure. To make a travel, there is a procedure. To write a leave letter, there is a procedure. Is there no procedure for living? Is there no procedure for implementing our constitution? Is there no procedure for running an institution? That procedure is to be commenced right from today. On this auspicious day, Republic Day, let us be the children of Mother Bharat. Let us try to reorganize ourselves first. Swami Ramatirtha made an advertisement. Wanted reformers, not of others, of themselves. Let us try to reform ourselves first, reorganize ourselves first, re-establish ourselves first. Let us be the custodians of discipline. Let us be the torchbearers of discipline. Let us try to deserve that particular slogan which is written on Mangal Mandir, world-class university we should become. For that, the bricks, the stones, the foundation, the everything are students, staff and all the remaining staff. Let us resolve. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Mother Bharat ki Jai.
Namassabhabhyaha Sabhapatibhyascha, dignitaries on the dais. I am most honored and privileged to introduce the chief guest of today's 72nd Republic Day celebrations organized by S. Vyasa Institutions. Professor M.A. Lakshmi Tatachar is the President of India awardee. Every year, 5 people are selected across the length and breadth of India by the Ministry of Culture and the Ministry of HRD for those to honor by the President himself for having significantly contributed for the growth of Sanskrit language. And Professor Lakshmi Tatachar is one among them who has been accorded this distinction by the Union government. Professor Lakshmi Tatachar has studied Sanskrit, not only Sanskrit language, but also the 6 systems of Indian philosophy, especially the Nyaya philosophy, the Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamimamsa and Uttarmimamsa. He specialized in Vishishtadvaita philosophy propounded by Sri Ramanujacharya. He was initially started his career as a lecturer in Government Arts College in Bangalore, then moved on to Bangalore University, where he was the lecturer, the reader and the professor. In the prime of his career, he left the university and established the Academy of Sanskrit Research in Melukote around in 1978. And he brought that university to the global level. And this Academy of Sanskrit Research started with a small funding of 378 rupees by the state government, rose to become the world-class research institute meant for the propagation and promotion of Sanskrit language, literature, then Vedanta philosophy, and especially that of Sri Vishishtadvaita philosophy propounded by Sri Ramanujacharya in Melukote, his native place, which also happens to be my grandfather's native place. And he not only established the research organization, but produced series and bands of young scholars who are present now all world over, contributing significantly for the growth of Sanskrit language, literature and 6 systems of Indian philosophy, and his students are present worldwide. Apart from that, he himself traveled across the length and breadth of India and collected the rare manuscript, palm leaf manuscript and other type of manuscript, 10,000 plus manuscripts, and established the rare manuscript library in Melukote, which is the pride of not only Melukote of Karnataka, but of the entire country and the world, because people who are interested in studying the manuscript in Sanskrit, which has diverse subjects in Sanskrit language, Sharada, Granthi and other languages, they came and studied here and published some unpublished manuscripts. And it has been maintained in a very scientific way, and the Ford Foundation came and did the microfilming of these things. Apart from that, he gave talks all over India regarding these domains of knowledge, apart from publishing monumental works, especially the Vishishtadvaita Kosha in several volumes, on Vedanta philosophy, on Melukote through the ages, and many more. So it is our great and honor and privilege to have such a distinguished Sanskrit scholar, a Vedantist scholar, a renowned philosopher in Vedanta, to be the chief guest for today's function. I still remember the halcyon days of my childhood when Tatachar used to teach in our classes as various subjects such as Tarka Sangraha, then philosophy, both Eastern and Western. He specialized in Western philosophy from Socrates to Plato to whatnot, to Bertrand Russell. He is an authority and a multilingualist who can speak fluently in Sanskrit language, English, Kannada, Tamil, and we are most honored to have such a great scholar of international eminence to be the chief guest. Now I request, and having saluted at his lotus feet, and I request our Honorable Professor M.A. Lakshmi Tatachar ji to kindly address us on this occasion and to motivate all of us.
ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे. Respected Vice Chancellor and also dignitaries on the dais and my friends, I am extremely happy to be here on this auspicious occasion, that is the 72nd Republic Day of India. I think my presence is very much justified because for the last 5 years I am seriously involved in yogic research, and we have brought out several volumes on yogic research. On this particular auspicious day, I request all of you to take a vow to revisit Indian knowledge systems. It is a very important thing. Particularly, whatever I am doing and whatever S. Vyasa University is doing is almost the same. And we have to revisit the Indian knowledge systems and establish their validity even in this modern context. Many times I tell people, my roots are in the past, I am in the present, and I work for the future. I think all of you should do that, because our roots can never be forgotten. If the roots are cut off, the tree will actually dry up. From that point of view, what I want to say is, we have to revisit the Indian knowledge systems. For the last 21 years, I have started another organization called Samskriti Foundation, for which I am the president, and I am doing research work in the Indian knowledge systems. Very interesting thing is, Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Urdhvamulam adhashakham ashwatham prahuravyayam. And probably in S. Vyasa University also, they give so much of importance to Pranava, from which all the Vedas have emerged, from which all the other Indian knowledge systems have emerged. So we have prepared a software which is called Jnanashvatha, where you go to Omkara. From Omkara you can go to the Indian knowledge systems completely. It is a horizontal one according to my software. So what happens, you can see the entire knowledge system. Probably to complete this project, I may require about another 100 years. I will not be alive. So you people should take it up. Because when I go to any Indian knowledge system, any discipline in the Indian knowledge system, I feel at least 100 years work could be done with the available Indian knowledge systems. For the last 5,000 years, our predecessors have developed so much of Indian knowledge systems, which are most valuable in the modern context. From that point of view, I want to tell you one more thing. We cannot be simply spiritual, because science is the religion of the day. We should also go into science. From that point of view, what happens? I want to say all these things which have been developed by our ancient people are so much scientific, whether it is Dharma Shastra, or whether it is Shiksha Shastra, or whether it is Nirukta, or whatever it is, you can find science everywhere. That's what I am doing for the last 50 years. And I am trying to bridge the gulf between the past and the present for the future. And you should also do that. On this Republic Day, you take a vote to do that. Particularly with regard to yoga, a lot of work has been done and a lot of work has to be done. Even after 100 years, so much of work remains to be done. That's what I feel. We have collected all the information available in 18 Puranas with regard to yoga. Each Purana has got so much of yoga system. Similarly, what happens in darshanas also, most of the people think that yoga is a separate system. It has to be clubbed with Sankhya system. Without knowing Sankhya system, you cannot understand yoga system properly, because it provides the foundation for the yoga system. So the foundational knowledge is very much necessary to practice yoga also. In addition to that, we have prepared a yoga dictionary which is also available, and we have prepared, we have collected 5,000 documents and put it in one particular place which is available online, and you can refer to any text and also call out any information which you want. In addition to that, what you have to do is, for what purpose yoga has to be used. Paul Brunton has written a beautiful book called Beyond Yoga. That means Patanjali's, you should not stop at Patanjali's yoga system itself. You have to proceed further. That means you have to enter into the field of other Vedanta, whether it is Advaita Vedanta, or Dvaita Vedanta, or Vishishtadvaita Vedanta, it doesn't matter. You have to enter into the Vedanta field, where yoga invariably means it is the union of the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. Then alone you will get a blissful state. From that point of view, what I say is, please revisit the ancient knowledge systems. Whether it is Bharadwaja Vaimanika Shastra or metallurgy, we are producing at least 8 monographs on metallurgy, which will run into 1,600 pages. Shortly, they will be released. In that way, all the Indian knowledge systems are very much relevant to the modern world. My idea is to bat for indigenous, eco-friendly, not ego-friendly, sustainable, and cost-effective science and technology also. Then what happens, Indian knowledge systems will become so much relevant to the modern world. So I request all of you to enter into these fields. Samskriti Foundation can definitely cooperate with the S. Vyasa University, and we can revisit all the Indian knowledge systems and extract the valuable information that is available in those things. And one more thing is, we can think of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and also we can think of the welfare of the entire humanity or entire living beings in this universe. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
We are so fortunate that we could get our very dear, greatest, eminent scholar for this Republic Day celebrations in our Professor Lakshmi Tatacharji. So let us all give a big hand to him for his fantastic work that he had done in bringing the best of our Eastern wisdom base to the world at large. So Vivekananda said we have to combine the best of the East with the best of the West. But not many people know the ocean of knowledge that we have with such depth in our ancient wisdom base. He called it the Indian knowledge base. And he is one of the authorities in this, spending his whole life for unraveling the mysteries that are hidden in our ancient scriptures. Whether it is the Yoga Shastras, whether it is the Vedanta Shastras, whether all the Vedic knowledge base, everything he has been able to put them together and bring manuscripts after manuscripts which are all thrown and bring them to the forefront by the process of digitalization and bring a wonderful library. Therefore, we are very indebted for him for doing this great work to bring the Indian knowledge base, our Vedanta, our Vedas, Upanishads, and all the dimensions which our ancient masters developed in our country for thousands and thousands of years, if not millions of years. And therefore, in our university, Tatacharji assure that we are going to take up this as for all our doctoral students and master degree students. This part is the first part. We call it as part 1, that is the literary research. Therefore, every student have to find some new thing from our ancient scriptures, and they have to undergo this entire training in Sanskrit so that they will be able to unravel the mysteries that are hidden. And in this context, we will take all your wisdom base and your expertise to see that you guide them. Therefore, in all fields of yoga spirituality that we are incorporating, the first part belongs to this. At present, we have almost nearly 250 PhD students, and we have nearly 1,800 master's degree students. So all these people are available to you, and you don't need 100 years now. You can condense it to probably 10 years before you leave this body into the whole thing. Then we want that your entire wisdom base and your dream should come true. Therefore, how to do that? You organize. We have wonderful organizers here, our Vice Chancellor Ramakrishna ji and our Subramaniam ji and Sridhar, and they will all help to organize as to how we can bring out this complete knowledge base to our entire world by bringing in the name of the best of the East. Then we have to put them into the dimensions of the West, that is modern scientific research. And as you know, we have established the research of the yoga, which contains all dimensions of yoga. Yoga spirituality, yoga and physical sciences, yoga and life sciences, yoga and management studies, and yoga and humanities. Into all these fields, our university is marching ahead to establish. And in life sciences, we have scored the highest, and we have to see that yoga, Ayurveda, which is shaping up more and more, will all grow into the other fields also. Therefore, we have to bring number of documentations in the form of the Eastern wisdom base and then do the research. And as you rightly said, it is the relevance of this knowledge base to the modern society. We have a large number of challenges in the era of science and technology. Though it has given us all the comforts and others, it has also thrown tremendous amount of challenges. Challenges everywhere. The whole society has been shattered. And we have the modern non-communicable disease on one side, the stress challenges on the other side, and the agony, distress, and fighting things all over the world, shattering our entire globe. So these challenges which have been brought forth by the era of science and technology need a solution. And that solution is in our Sanatana Dharma, in our ancient wisdom base, which is the holistic science. If modern science has tracked the entire physical world, the entire Sanatana Dharma of the whole creation has been understood by our ancient wisdom base. Not only the Annamaya Kosha, but the Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnana, Anandamaya Kosha, and giving the complete knowledge base of the whole creation. And that which is beyond the creation also has been tracked. And that is the knowledge base that our ancient masters had, and this has been put forth in various texts, in Sanskrit, in the manuscripts, which are all available. And that has to be unraveled. For each of the problems that we face, we have the solution here. But people do not believe it because they have not had the chance to look at those things. That's where Lakshmi Tatachar and such great personalities can contribute to unravel. Therefore, we will deal with all such problems and challenges that modern society is facing to find out already the established solutions which are there in our ancient wisdom base. And not only in our Vyasa University, you will be happy to know now we started our Vivekananda Yoga University in the United States. We know that everything that comes from the West is the best. This has become our mindset. Thanks to the Britishers who completely brainwashed us and said that you Indians have nothing and you have to follow all that comes in the West, whether it is the discipline, whether it is coming together, working together, do it in an organized way, as our Professor Subramaniam said, the discipline of place, discipline of time, discipline of working together efficiently, everything you have to learn from West. We don't have anything. And you have to learn therefore English, and you have to do everything the Western way. This is how our brains were washed during the earlier days of our slavery, and now thanks to the new dimension that is shaping up with our Honorable Prime Minister, we are regaining our ancient wisdom base and see such solutions are available. As I start understanding more and more, what I know today is a small speck in the ocean. Such tremendous knowledge base is available in our ancient wisdom base. As we study the Yoga Shastras and then other texts, what we know is very, very small dimension. As I said, you take any one particular thing, 100 years more, you can work on that thing. Such is the depth that is available. Yesterday I was talking to our Manvat Garoteji. He said he brought out a book on encyclopedia on asanas, yogasanas, which we are forming the base for the International Yogasana Sports Federation, which has come up now. And we will select all these things. He said there are 60 types of Shirshasanas that have been mentioned. 60 types of Shirshasanas. And about the Shavasana, he said 36 types of Shavasanas are given. You take one asana, you have such things. And I know in Kriyas, we have nearly 800 types of Kriyas that are available. So such is the depth of knowledge our people went into everything. And what to talk about Ayurveda, it is an ocean that is available. So we have to unravel all this. And therefore, the new dimension that we are taking up now in our university is to plan for the next 15, 20 years what we are going to achieve in every field. In every division, we are going to plan out as to what we are going to achieve in the next 20 years. Bring out the breakthrough research to go beyond in physics, beyond the matter-based paradigm towards consciousness-based paradigm. Can we unravel the mysteries of the prana? Can we find out the laws and the structure of this pranamaya kosha? Then manomaya kosha, what is that what we call as mind? It is just the functioning of the brain, or is there something beyond? And are there laws that govern them? What is the structure of that mind, which is different from energy, which forms the base of this physical world? And what is it that we call as intellect, Vijnanamaya kosha? How is it different from the mind? And then Anandamaya kosha, what is that we call as Ananda? If it is the state of silence or the peace and tranquility, what is the grandeur of that silence? All such things we have to unravel, and bringing the total knowledge base of the whole creation back to the things. Therefore, we have now planned in every division the entire thing that we have to achieve in the 10, 15, 20 years, and have a roadmap to achieve these things. Therefore, all our top leaders in our country, particularly in our university, will bring together a synergy to see that we achieve this dimension. That's the way ahead. On one side, as Subramaniam said, we build this harmonious team, a synergetic team in which we all work together as one single whole, all the student community, faculty and others, with a big family-like thing, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, with voluntary discipline. Nobody should come and say, okay, come and sit here. Automatically you push, come and sit here. Nobody should say that you put your chappals in this thing. There should be no supervision. And you should come and put everything. Nobody should say that you should not come late. You should come 5 minutes before. And nobody should say that the faculty is not coming in time. Everything should happen automatically. That's the type of voluntary discipline that we have to take. That is yoga dimension. And it should not be forced thing. But if it is needed, if it is not happening, if your voluntary discipline is not there, then certainly we are going to take all the efforts to see that you are brought to shape. Many times the children are very naughty. Some of the children are lethargic, more Thomasic oriented, and such people need a big hit, and we are going to hit in that sense. That's what Subramaniam is empowered with, and our Vice Chancellor is empowered, and they are going to do that. And see that you all come, and all of you grow to the greater heights, from our normal level to great heights, to become great people and superhuman beings. And once you come out of this organization to this thing, you will be the role models. This is what we have achieved in the primary and secondary schools in Arunachal Pradesh, in the entire Northeast, in Port Blair and Daman Nicobar, where we have 65 schools. And in the Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalayas, the children who come up are the role models of the children. And all the universities, institutions, they want these children to be adopted. So such should be the students who come here. And we have to move from that Western model to the Eastern Indian wisdom model. And that needs a strong Indian knowledge base that we have to imbibe and bring forth to the whole thing. So on this very auspicious 72nd Republic Day, let us all make a resolve, as been appealed by our dear Ramakrishnaji and Professor Subramaniam, and also our Lakshmi Tatajarji and Sridharji, that we all work incessantly to change ourselves, to develop ourselves, to transform ourselves, to grow to greater heights, to bring this university's name and fame with our discipline, with our wonderful action, with a synergy, to see that all our students and our faculty will be the role models for the people. When people come, they should see that this is in manifestation here. And with this appeal once again, I am sure that all of you will use all the freedom that you have to completely transform yourself with voluntary discipline, and see that we go. Yoga is Anushasana. Atha Yoga Anushasanam is what Patanjali said. Yoga is the discipline that we have to bring forth. With that, once again, I congratulate all of you for attending this Republic Day on this very auspicious occasion, and let us all make that resolve. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Okay, so please, sir, Sridhar sir, deliver the vote of thanks. Vote of thanks. Yeah, please deliver.
On behalf of the S. Vyasa Yoga University, I am most honored and privileged to offer a grateful thanks and salutation at the lotus feet of my revered Guru, who taught me the Sanskrit grammar and also Vedanta philosophy, Western philosophy and Indian knowledge system when I was a student. As a tribute, I have written the book Sanskrit Grammar, motivated by our Honorable Chancellor Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji and our former Vice Chancellor Professor Ramchandra Bhatt ji. It's a basic Sanskrit grammar where you can study without the much hassles of grammar, but you at the end of reading that book you will be able to understand the Sanskrit language and write few sentences in Sanskrit language. So I thank Professor Lakshmi Tatachar, being the chief guest for today's 72nd celebrations, who has come all the way from Mysore today. You know what is his age? Any guess? 84 years young. And being a traditional man, studied the Veda various Shastras in Sanskrit in Gurukula, also developed various Sanskrit softwares for the first time in the country, as informed by our Guruji, digitization of the manuscript, various comparative studies with respect to, for example, Nyaya and jurisprudence, Padashakti and phonetics and whatnot. He organized hundreds of national, international seminars in which people participated and gave his pioneering research work to all the people and showed what the real Indian wisdom is as propounded by our Vedic seers since time immemorial. So we offer our grateful thanks to, pranams to Professor M.E. Lakshmi Tatachar. I also thank our Professor B.R. Ramakrishna, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, for giving a panorama of the canvas of what has happened regarding in the last 1 year and the greatest contribution of India to the world under the leadership of our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. I thank our Professor Subramaniam, as ever, very inspiring, illuminating and motivating the youngsters and giving his thoughts of wisdom and how we should be disciplined in all the aspects of our personality so that we grow extremely well in all the departments of our personality. Thanks to Professor Subramaniam ji, who came all the way from Hyderabad late in the night, and he is ready for the program 10 minutes earlier today morning. I thank our Honorable Chancellor Guruji, who is a blend of the East and the West, the Eastern wisdom and the Western science, and the synergy between these two, and for motivating all of us to take such research. And also he himself did that research based on our ancient Vedic wisdom, the Upanishadic wisdom, which has become popular all over the world, with 7 of his techniques, starting with cyclic meditation, PET, PET and so on, which have become a global phenomenon now. I thank profusely, offer grateful thanks to Professor H.R. Nagendra ji, the source, strength and the backbone of our S. Vyasa Yoga University. I thank the principal, Professor Sanghamitra Nayak of the Sushruta Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, all our colleagues of the S. Vyasa Yoga University, Sushruta Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital, all the invitees who have come here, including Sri Raghuramji, the President of the Yoga Bharati, and other dignitaries, and our Assistant Director of Physical Education, Kiran Kumar, the music team, and all those students who have assembled here from all the courses of both yoga and the Sushruta Ayurvedic Medical College and Hospital for this 72nd celebrations, including our team from the audiovisual team who have been made this program a grand success. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Dhanyavad.
Who's going to do it?
Kindly rise for Vande Mataram. Group attention! Group stenators! Group attention! Vande Mataram in chorus begin. Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां शस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमिता ध्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदामरदा मातरं वन्दे मातरम् कोटिकोटिकण्ठ कलकलनिनाद कराले कोटि भुजैर्धृत खर खरवाले अबलागिनुमायतु बले बहुबलधारिणी नमामि तरिणी रिपुदलवारिणी मातरं वन्दे मातरम् तुमि विद्या तुमि धर्मा तुमि हृदय तुमि धर्मा तुमि प्राणा शरीरे बाहुते तुमि मा शक्ति हृदये तुमि मा भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गढ़ी मंदिरे मंदिरे वंदे मातरम तुम ही दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी कमला कमलदल विहारिणी वाणी विद्यादायिनी नमामि त्वां नमामि कमलाम् अमलाम् अतुलां सुजलां सुफलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं भरणीं मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम् बोलो भारत माता की वंदे वंदे